Hey guys, Aaronoticz here, back with another video. Okay, so we have officially passed the halfway point of the spring 2019 anime season. And so, at this point, you probably already have an anime that you think is the best of the season, the anime of the season as it's called. And so for this video, I will list down the potential shows that I think is worthy of being called the title of anime of the season for the spring 2019 anime season. So, let's get started. Caroline Tuesday is great. The animation, the look, the aesthetic. Studio Bones doing another great job with this show. And then the fact that it's produced by Netflix, meaning, they have more freedom, they have a bigger budget to work with. And it really shows. The quality of this show is really amazing. To those that have not seen it, Caroline Tuesday is a show about two young girls from two different backgrounds that are trying to make it big in the business, trying to be artists. And that's basically the story of the show. So basically, the episodes are just them, trying to make it big as artists. It's set in a futuristic world of our own, where humans have advanced and technology have advanced to the point where we can now live in Mars without any problems. We can now live in Mars without any problems. Since this is a show about artists trying to make it big in the business, it features a whole slew of great songs. Almost exclusively, each episode features a new song, which is great. I love the songs that are featured in this show. All of them are in English, by the way. But yeah, all the songs, the music, the score, the openings, they're all great with this show. And at the beginning of the season, when I first watched Caroline Tuesday, I thought this was it. I thought this was anime of the season the same way that I felt Megalobox was anime of its season, which it kind of did, at least for me. But as more and more episodes were released, I kind of noticed something huge that really, to me, keeps it from being anime of the season and really holds it back. And that is the setting. Now, is the setting interesting? Absolutely. Humans living in Mars, technology is advanced at that point, and all that. They're all interesting, But the problem with the setting is that it doesn't really affect the plot or story at all. The show could be set in our time right now, and it would not change a thing. So that really holds me back. And if the setting doesn't affect the story at all, it's not. It will affect the case of this show, and it does for this particular case. So while I do think that Caroline Tuesday is great, the animation is great. Studio Bones, props to them. The music is great, and almost every aspect of the show is amazing. That setting just holds it back. Really, really, really holds it back. But hey, you should still check it out. It's still great if you just put that aside. Kimetsu no Yaiba is the shonen of shonens. I love watching this show. This show just gives me all the pleasure in the world. Not that kind of pleasure. No. Just, whenever I watch this show, I feel the same way that I feel whenever I watch JoJo's, where I enjoy the fights, I enjoy everything about it. It's just exciting, it's thrilling, and that's what I feel about Kimetsu no Yaiba. Every episode is exciting, it's thrilling. It's shonen for shonen's sake. For me, a fan of shonen that loves shonen at its heart, I freaking love this show. This show is amazing. The animation is amazing. The fight choreography is great. The fight animations is great. Because it's done by Ufotable, the studio that animated the Fate series, and if you've watched the Fate series, you know that it has some of the best looking fights in all of anime, and Kimetsu no Yaiba is no different from that. Ufotable has done a great job animating this show. And even when they use CG, it just blends with the 2D really well, It doesn't feel out of place, it doesn't feel forced. It's not irritating to watch. It's really beautiful. It's a beautiful looking show. So the story is about actually demons and demon hunters. Our protagonist becomes a demon hunter when his family was murdered by demons and his sister was turned into a demon. And so he became a demon hunter so that he could eventually find a cure for his sister. the story is there. The story opens up a lot of potential, kind of like how shonen stories are, opens up a lot of potential. They're interesting, they grab you. The fight animations, the fight choreography, the overall just animation, the look of the show, and then the music and all that, like, it's all great. So yeah, definitely one of the best this season, possibly the best. I mean, what can you even say about Attack on Titan at this point? Like, Attack on Titan Season 2 Part 3, like, what can you even say about it at this point, We've done this about 4 times now, 3 to 4 times now, and all those times has been amazing. Season 3 Part 2 is not really any different. However, just, they're pushing things to another level. Which studio is doing a great job with Attack on Titan? Like, obviously they would. Like, Attack on Titan is their baby. Attack on Titan is the anime that really put them on the map. So, obviously they're gonna put a lot of care and thought put into, Attack on Titan, their baby. But, like, dude, they're pushing it to another level with just how awesome, how amazing this season has been so far. That's just the one thing that you can count from Attack on Titan, consistency. Every season it's been, like, consistently great. So, like, there's really nothing else you can say about this show. And then, like, well, it's the usual great. The only thing that I expect from this show is that some answers about the Titans that I really am questioning right now. Like, just give me some answers, okay? That's all I'm asking. This is kind of like a honorable mention, kind of. This show, I feel like, to me, it's not really anime of the season material, but I do think that just from its name alone, it deserves this. It deserves to be kind of mentioned. And we're talking about One Punch Man here. I do believe that season 2 is just not on the same. It's sad that what happened to One Punch Man season 2, like, not to take anything away from JC staff and what they've been doing. Like, they've animated some of my favorite shows in the past. I have a lot of respect for JC staff. I mean, they did Bakuman, all 3 seasons, amazing. Shokugeki no Soma, The Familiar of Zero, which is one of the first ecchi animes I have ever actually watched. But I mean, when you have to follow a show as big as and as iconic as One Punch Man Season 1, it's kind of unfair, and I don't blame JC staff, I kind of blame Madhouse for this, because the fact that Madhouse chose One Punch Man, a fucking global phenomenon, to the point where people who didn't even know anime were fucking aware of One Punch Man, and people were even calling it the savior of anime and shit like that. Like, the hype for this fucking show is real, and the fact that you pass up on making a season 2 of One Punch Man and chose to focus on Overlord, which again is a great show. I enjoyed season 1, season 2 and 3 to me was shit, but season 1 was good. But the fact that you chose to make a sequel for Overlord instead of the global phenomenon that is One Punch Man, I don't know what the fuck you were thinking on Madhouse. Like, you have to give me something. You have to give me, anything. You have to give me a logical reason why anyone would do that. But, what's done is done. And, while I do enjoy One Punch Man Season 2, it's still One's writing. One is still writing it. It's still great. It's just, it's not on the same level as Season 1. And you can see it clearly. You can see it. It's obvious. Like, it's just not on that same level. One Punch Man Season 2 is not really on that. It's not really on it's not really on the same level as these other shows that I just mentioned. But, I'm just mentioning it I'm mentioning it now just because, Season 1 was just that big. So those were my picks for what shows I think will most likely win anime of the season. And I do have a show that I do think is gonna win it. A show that I am leading towards, and that's Kimetsu no Yaiba. Just because, like, Attack on Titan and Kimetsu no Yaiba, I feel like they're on that same level. But when it comes to anime of the season, I kind of prefer shows that are new to the season. And I do consider sequels and all that whenever I decide anime of the season. But for now, I do feel like Kimetsu no Yaiba is gonna be anime of the season. And again, don't count Caroline Tuesday out of this, because Caroline Tuesday is still great. It's just that the setting is, it just, when you look at it objectively, it just kind of hurts its case a little bit. But it's still a great show. You should still check it out. I promise you, you will not regret it. Though, the problem with Caroline Tuesday is that it is produced by Netflix, so if you want to watch it legally, you kind of have to wait for it to be released on Netflix. Like all of the seasons to be released on Netflix. That's sad. But, if you can't, you know the ways that you can do this. But yeah, those were my picks for which potentially I do feel like are the shows that most likely will win anime of the season. I'm leaning towards Kimetsu no Yaiba, but any one of these shows could, overtake it. I'd like to hear yours in the comment section below. Like, if you have a show that I did not mention in this, you can put it down below, and you could argue with me. Like, you could debate with me whether or not I should have put it there. But yeah, you can put it down in the section below, and while you're at it, just subscribe and click that like button. All right, so that was the case for the best for the 2019 anime season. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you again in the next. Aaronoticz out. Peace.